Rusame reader, Crowsong, and today I will be reading to you from Sticky Notes and Trinkets by RainbowStar_772. That's me! Now, on to Chapter 13. Rule number 7, Cheesy Compliments Count. Soon, Russia located Cuba and sat at the table with his close friend, letting out a relaxed sigh as he rested his shoulders. He probably thinks you're friends with him, Cuba hummed in a matter-of-fact manner, pausing to take a bite out of his food. You know? Who thinks I'm friends with who? Russia asked with a slightly exasperated sigh. America. He probably thinks you're friends with, or at least listen to, Damon, Cuba responded. Who the actual fuck is Damon? The embodiment of emo boy that you beat up this morning? The one determined to make himself look like he is crying blood? He clarified, knowing he only beat up one guy this morning. Yes, Cuba said, sounding a little exasperated. Who else would I be talking about? He asked, the question clearly rhetorical in nature. He's certainly not the only emo here, Russia replied with a shrug. Cuba rolled his eyes. I wasn't saying he was, but that wasn't the point. He probably saw you earlier. He's a people watcher. More so with new people here. Does he do the Stucker notes like you? Russia asked with an eye roll. This conversation felt stupid and redundant. Plus, even if I do what you're implying I should, he won't believe me. He doesn't. Nobody's as much of a stalker as me, Cuba responded proudly. He almost had an ooh-woo face. And he'll believe you. He's good at people reading. He also tends to believe in his intuition. I already fucked up. I don't think it's a good idea, Russia mumbled. Fine, take your time. Russia let out a little sigh, but they moved on to a different topic, spending the rest of lunch with idle chatter. That made the rest of the lunch pass by in a blur. As lunch came to an end, he got up and left for the gym, going into the locker room and getting changed. For a second, while taking off his shirt, he could kind of feel someone looking at him. He hummed to himself and shrugged, not really caring about it. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he hoped that America might look at him and see him as attractive. He also quickly realized that it was almost definitely America, as he looked over to spot the other leaving the locker room. He found himself wishing that the other liked what he saw, even though it was probably just a little glimpse. He quickly pulled the gym uniform on and headed out of the room and to the gymnasium. He noticed that America was in the hall while he made his way to the gym. After roll was called, it was revealed that they were going to be playing fucking kickball. He wanted to die. Jim then proceeded to stretch on for what felt like a goddamned week. When it was finally over, he went back into the locker room and changed as quickly as he could, eager to just get through the rest of the day and to band practice. He paused by America's locker on his way to the last class of the day, smiling to himself a little. He decided to spice it up a little, the note reading, You are an alluring, magnificent, and nearly perfect angel. Did you lose your wings and halo to walk among us? It felt a little cheesy, but he couldn't help himself. America deserved more compliments than he seemed to receive. It was a bit flirty, but he hoped it showed America how wanted he was. He had seen enough of how people seemed to treat him to know that, the very least, the other had depression. It's hard to stay positive and find reasons to continue when the only things you hear about yourself are insults. If 33% of a 24-hour day was spent listening to that, then given that 10 hours of that is sleeping. It's closer to 57% of the day. Needless to say, he couldn't help but want to give America a hug, and maybe refuse to let him go for a while. America deserved a lot more love and comfort than he seemed to get, at least during the school day. He sighed as he walked into the last class of the day, looking around to see if they had a substitute or if their teacher, Mr. Reinhardt, was there. He spotted Mr. Reinhardt standing up at the front of the classroom, probably ready to lecture them. Instead of beginning to lecture them, he started with, "First things first, I'm sorry about my absence yesterday. I hope you all got your work done. I'm sorry I wasn't here to give the new little chemist a warm welcome. I hope you all were kind to him." He started, bowing slightly when he apologized. After that, he started to call roll and started the lecture. In the middle of the lecture, Mr. Reinhardt handed out some worksheets for them to do to practice what he was lecturing over. Before he started working on it, he noticed that America was looking down at his lap. It sparked his curiosity a little, so he looked at America's lap to see what he was doing. He saw that the other seemed to be sewing something. What it was, he wasn't sure, but it looked pretty neat. He quickly looked away and then started on the worksheet. It was honestly a bit boring to him. He wasn't but halfway through it when he heard some really fast writing. It drew his attention away from his work, and he looked over to see the source of the sound was America, doing the worksheet he distracted Russia from. He looked to be using his left hand to do it when he'd been drawing with his right the day before. It was odd to him, leaving him with some questions, though he came to the conclusion that America was likely ambidextrous. Russia chuckled a little to himself and quickly got back to doing the work. That was something he found interesting and maybe a bit cute. He quickly got back to work on the worksheet, taking his time to get through the thing. It was boring, but better than listening to the damned lecture. He almost groaned as he finished the worksheet. Now he just heard the teacher droning on and on. He looked over at America and then slowly found himself zoning out. And then, eventually, daydreaming. He found himself daydreaming about America and himself. He couldn't help himself. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.